my room because I have to watch Darcy.
Oh, the baby.
The baby. Do you want to see her right now?
Yes.
Look at her.
Oh,
She's so precious.
she's just laid out.
She is. She's like, all right, you have fun.
Is she feeling better?
She definitely is. Yeah, she's not 100%, but
Okay.
we still aren't letting her jump anywhere, so I didn't want her jumping. It's fine.
Good.
Yeah.
Watch her like a hawk. You see.
But she can get up there on her own?
No, I put her there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I carry her everywhere. No stairs or jumping. Hello, Desiree.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello, Monica.
Hi, Monica.
We are very excited to chat about Wolfsong.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Did you end up rereading it, Samantha?
I did reread it, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was wondering.
Why?
This is like the first readathon or like live show that I'm like so confident. Like I didn't have to like stress about like speed reading it because I love this series. I love this series so much.
I had 12 hours of the audio left this morning, so I was my reread, but I bumped it up to 3.5 and I listened a lot.
Did you get through it all?
I did, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but you reread it, so that's fine. This is my third reread. Like I love this series.
Oh.
Wow.
No.
Have you read all 4?
Yeah.
Oh. Wasn't this read along your idea?
You just wanted to reread it.
I just wanted to reread it and I wanted more people to like talk about it too. So I was like, let me just put this together real quick. So I'm excited.
That's funny.
I was shocked, Christi, that you hadn't read them yet.
I know. They had been on my TBR for like literally years.
Yeah.
And I was just saving them.
Well, I think, was it 2020 that I first read Wolfsong?
Yeah, it was. Because I read it when you first read it, and then I finished the series, and you stopped at the second one.
Yeah. I've still only read 2.
Are we surprised?
2.
All right. But before we get ahead of ourselves, we can maybe talk about our ratings. Jess, you want to start?
Yes. So initially I gave it 5 stars. And I feel like this is a book. I kind of felt like it was like my feelings to Manacled, where like during it, I'm like, this is slow. Like, we're just moving along. But then like it all makes sense at the end. And you're like, that was like a journey you had to go on with them. So I will keep it 5 stars, but I don't recommend reading it all in one day because that was a lot for me trying to do. But yes, 5 stars.
Okay. Christi?
Okay, so this was my first time reading it, and I gave it 3.5 stars. Yeah.
That's a good rating. It's fine. It's fine. I will say that the series, to me, progressively gets better. I think this is like a good start. Although I'm giving this 5 stars. This one I have read 3 times. This was my 3rd time reading it. And it's still 5 stars, but it's definitely not my favorite in the series. So I do feel like 2.5? Monica! Okay. Wow. Okay, yeah. It's not my least favorite. I think this is like maybe my 3rd favorite. So it's just a good setting to the entire series. Mm-hmm. The second book is like, for me, the real like strongest of the series. But yeah, I loved it. 5 stars. I just love Ox so much. He's like one of my favorite characters.
Little baby.
Oh, baby.
I will say I didn't love the narrator that much.
Yes.
Oh,
I had the audio too.
I didn't listen to the audio.
I don't know. I just feel like, well, and maybe it was on purpose, but like with the love interest, what's his name?
Joe.
Thank you, Joe. With Joe, he made him like very young.
Yes.
Until he came back. But I was like, so like even when he was like 18, he still had like a kid voice for him. And I was just like, he's not a kid now. And then he like really deepened it when he came back, like when he was 21. But that kind of annoyed me. And it's just like, I don't know. It was okay.
Melissa, this is a romance. It's a paranormal like shifter romance, werewolves, but it's a series. There's 4 books and then a novella. So it's pretty slow burn, to be honest.
And are they all MM? The whole
they're
series?
All in. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, I thought so.
I think TJ Klune only writes MM.
I think so too.
Oh yeah. I didn't even think about that. That's true.
Yeah, that's like the joke in the series is all of the characters are like queer. So
I forgot though that Ox dated Jessie.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
She's in the rest of the series. You end up really liking her.
Okay. I mean, I liked her. It was just funny how jealous they got of each other.
But I loved how obsessive Joe was of Onyx, or of Ox.
It kind of, though, reminded me also of New Moon, is it? Where Edward leaves for like a year and it just shows her like being all depressed, and for Twilight. And that just reminded me because Joe left for 3 years, right? Wasn't it 3? I was like,
yeah.
I was so pissed off when I first read it, and it wasn't until the ending where I was like, okay, you know what? There is a 6-year age gap in this romance, and they meet when he's 10. So it's like kind of, I was worried how like they were going to make it appropriate. So I feel like that 3 years really gave them the opportunity, or Joe the opportunity, to kind of grow up a little bit and mature. So definitely. It didn't feel like such a large age gap on like a maturity level.
See, I feel like we didn't need the age gap. Like, I feel like he only gave him an age gap because he wanted them separated, and so it would make sense for that time later. Like, I was like, why is there an age gap? Like, I feel like there didn't need to be, like, especially in the beginning.
Yeah. You said something about Twilight. When I read it the first time, I was like, it gave me Twilight vibes, even the town and everything.
Didn't they mention Twilight?
Yes. Okay. In here, he mentions Twilight when like he's figuring out like the town secret and stuff. So I definitely think he had a little bit of inspiration.
A nod. Yeah. Because then he mentioned imprinting. He's like, "What are you imprinting like Twilight?"
Yeah.
But that's what it feels like.
He mentioned imprinting. He mentioned like the Cullens, like, so definitely a big inspiration. Like the town itself reminded me of like the town. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. That's what I was wondering, if he had ever acknowledged that it was kind of like Twilight fanfic.
Yeah.
I don't think it is Twilight fanfic, is it? Like officially?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
My least favorite in the series is the third one, but not because it's bad, but it's a very confusing book in the beginning. I don't want to give it. Huh?
Is that Robbie's?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Isn't it a spoiler who it is? Okay. You can't say who the fourth or one of the love interests I remember is a spoiler. I don't remember who it is at this point.
I feel like you can't really know who the love interests are in the third and fourth one because it's kind of a spoiler, but the third one is just confusing in the beginning, so that's my least favorite, but I loved all of them.
Well, I feel like people don't really talk about Joe being the love interest in this book. Like, I had no idea. Reading this, I thought Gordo, when we first meet him, was going to be, like, when him and Ox start going to work together after his dad leaves, I was like, oh, this is like, oh, okay, no, we're not going there. Like, I was so confused.
That's interesting. Brother Song is my favorite, too. The last one in the series.
Oh, I don't even know who those heroes are. Because Gordo's is next, and I think it's kind of obvious. Like,
I'm excited for his.
Yeah. But I forgot how young Gordo was, because wasn't he like 21 in the beginning of the book? Like he was young. 20s, yeah.
He does when you read about him, he does come off older because he's very jaded.
Yeah. And he's just like running his own garage. Like he's just like very well established. So.
Yeah. For those of you who didn't read it, I guess we'll do like a very short synopsis of it. It takes place in a town called Green Creek. Ox is human. He moves in with his mom to this small town, and he has a connection with like a family that lives in the woods, specifically the youngest brother, Joe, and it is a family of werewolves. So you eventually find out that him and Joe are mates, and he is a tether to Joe, which basically is like what prevents Joe from like losing himself to like his animal side. And it follows the romance, and they have to like protect themselves because there is some packs that try to attack them. I don't know. Hopefully that was a good synopsis.
Yeah.
It was very much of like soulmates romance. Because the minute Joe is 9 when they meet and gives Ox his wolf. And you learn why that's important. And you're just like, you knew from the beginning. It's the best scene. I laugh out loud every time is when Ox finds Joe attractive for the first time. It is so shorts. Yes, he's just like the shorts he was wearing. And then he realizes everyone can smell his attraction. Then he starts freaking out and goes and douses himself in cologne. And he walks into the house. He like literally walks straight into the wall of the house. And they're like, the house hasn't moved.
Yeah. The door was always over there.
God, I laughed so hard.
It's so slow burn and awkward at first, but I just think it's adorable.
Yeah. But we're gonna put Christi on the spot.
Okay, so I did the audiobook, which I feel like definitely didn't help. I didn't like the narrator. He made them feel very, very young all the way through. And with that age gap, like it just didn't help me see Joe as like mature ever, like Jess was saying, like until the very end. And like, okay, if this was just paranormal found family, like I loved it so much. The romance was definitely the weakest part for me. Like I didn't believe in their romance and it came in a lot later. And then I really wanted Joe's POV. Like I feel like I know in the beginning why we didn't have it, but I feel like later on as I got older and both saw each other, like I wanted to see what Joe was up to and thinking. So I think that could have helped me. And then like the writing, like I've read TJ Klune's newer stuff, and this one just felt very like dry, I guess is the way to say it. Like it'd be like, Joe said, I said, Joe laughed, I laughed, like just very, you know what I mean? Like there wasn't any like poeticness to it, I guess.
I have a question with the audiobook. Because I've only read it physically, and I'm wondering if that's the reason why I'm not rating it a little bit lower. And there's a lot where it's like their inner wolf dialogue, like pack, 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 mate, mate, mate.
Mhm,
How is that in the audiobook? Is that how they say it?
Yeah.
He'd kind of like change the way he said it though, so you could tell like it was their inner thoughts, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. I will have to remember on my reread a book too, but I feel like the writing style was because of Ox. Because Ox was very just like not simple, but like he wasn't smart.
Just straight to the
like,
point.
He was straight to the point.
Okay. That
He's
could
not
make
like
sense.
a lyrical person, so I feel like it would have been odd having lyrical writing. I don't remember how the second one I can't even remember the plot of the second book, to be honest. It's been years since I've read it. So I guess we'll see it. But now I'm like, I was gonna reread all these on audio, but I'll have to see if it's the same narrator. They're also really long audiobooks. So
I saw they're redoing the audiobooks too, like the new versions with the new covers.
Yeah. Are they changing anything in them?
I don't know. And I don't know if they're changing the narrator or if they just like slapped the new cover on it, you know?
I wouldn't be surprised if they changed it, because when we first decided to do this Readalong, all of them were available on my library, like no wait. And then the first one, when I went to go request it, it was like 11-week pending hold. It didn't seem like because people were in line. It seemed like it was not available.
Out yet? Yeah.
They take them down when they become traditionally published. So like Ravensong and Wolfsong are both trad now. The covers behind you. Are those
I think US versions? About the writing style though, because I rewatched the vlog I did for Green Creek, like I don't know, 2-3 years ago, and I remember saying that the writing for the fourth one, the last one, was really, really lyrical. So I think it is. I think the tone of it depends on who the hero,
the character. Okay.
Yeah,
I can see that being the case. Then.
I don't think I would say the female characters were plot devices.
Well, we'll only have what? Jesse,
Elizabeth, and his mom.
The mom, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that they become very powerful characters throughout the series, so maybe I just feel differently about that. But I will have to say my favorite characters were like Rico and the guys at the like the yard or the junkyard, wherever they worked. Oh, they're hilarious.
His is a second chance though, so
I feel like I
love
it then.
My favorite. I love his so much.
This comes out not so. I wonder when Ravensong is going to come out.
Yeah, they must be redoing it because it sounds like everybody hated this audiobook.
Yeah, I was gonna say somebody else would say the narrators were not great.
It's not good. So I'm assuming the publisher, I don't remember who publishes it. Samantha, are those the US editions that you have or the UK?
US. Let me see.
Okay. I bought the UK thinking I was buying the sprayed edges and it wasn't. So
yeah.
Oh, no.
So Tor probably has their own audio people. Who's the narrator for book 1? I have book 2 out in the library. Oh, I downloaded the wrong one. Why does my library only has 3 and 4. My Libby, I think, might have the other one.
It's narrated by Kurt Graves for Wolfsong, at least.
Okay. Let's look at Ravensong. This is narrated by Kurt Graves.
Okay.
But it has the new cover. So I don't know if we're going to switch them out. But it just came out in January is what this says. And it's Macmillan Audio. But then it says Wolfsong is coming soon.
Yeah, my library says coming soon for Wolfsong.
So they did the second audio before they... What? Before they did the first?
Or they're just changing the information and it's not actually the new.
Okay.
That doesn't make sense.
But still, that's strange they did 2 before 1.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's like the... Oh my gosh, those covers are so pretty for Heart Song and Brother Song.
I know. I've already pre-ordered them. They're stunning. I think they're so much better than the first original covers.
His narration was not good for this book. I did not like it.
Oh my god. That's so funny. I listened to that audiobook and I agree. But yeah, I can definitely see how the romance maybe wasn't the strongest in this book. I think for me, when I read this, I read it 3 years ago. So I was still reading a lot of like YA and women's fiction. And I just really loved like the found family aspect. I think that's one of my favorite tropes. I love the bond that the brothers have. I love the bond they have with the guys who work at the car shop. It's just so beautiful. And that is like their relationships throughout the entire series is just so beautifully written. And I like how even though he was human, he had like a little bit of magic in him as well. I feel like a lot of times the one that's like not the paranormal creature is always seen as the weaker one, but he was just so strong. I loved him.
He became an alpha. Like,
I know.
As a human. And they were like humans in his pack. That was really cool.
Yeah, I was surprised by that part when they're both alphas and Joe was still gone. And then he had this whole the group of humans with him. And I was like, wait, what's happening? Like, he's an alpha now too? Like, how's that going to work?
Yeah. And I like that Ox didn't immediately forgive him. I like that they had to work at their relationship and like they learned to like love each other again. Like I was going to be so mad if Joe came back and everything was like went back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
But Robbie almost killed Joe. Which was so funny. But it was funny how quickly Robbie got over Ox. Because Ox was basically like, Joe's it for me. And he's like, oh, well, you know, so-and-so is pretty cute.
He bounced back.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I loved I will even though I give it 5 stars. I do admit that. I like the characters, the backstory, the town, the writing. Yeah. This isn't my favorite couple. Although Ox is my favorite character.
He's just very much like the underdog from the beginning because like nobody really likes him. His dad left. He's always been seen as like slow and just quiet. And then the Bennetts just really like him.
This series makes me cry. I don't know why. I just love it. 4 out of 5 stars. That's good.
And I feel like the romance was fine for me because like it was just soulmates. Like they didn't need a reason to love each other. Like they were literally just destined to be together since Joe gave him his wolf. So
this really did feel like true like soulmate, fated mate energy for sure.
Yeah,
because it was like instant as soon as they saw each other, and that's kind of how it is for most of the couples.
Yeah.
Which I think it's funny because like now we're talking about all the found family and everybody's saying that in the comments. But like when I first heard about this series, I always heard, or this book, I always heard like this sweepingly romantic like love story. And like, so I was expecting that, where if I would have been told like, oh, found family vibes, like my expectations would have been, you know, better, I think. Because like the found family, I loved that part about the series or this book, all the characters.
I will say this isn't truly like the ending of Ox and Joe. Like you see their relationship develop more throughout the series. So maybe that's why as a whole, because like everyone's romance continues throughout the series.
Okay.
Like this is not out of order for sure.
The werewolf drama continues.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The actual plot of the book.
Yeah.
So yeah. I did think it was really sad though, because Ox the whole time was like, I'm not actually going to like mate with him because I don't want that like actual bond in place in case I do die. And you're just like, but you deserve to be together. The sacrifices they make, I loved. Like, I think that's so like just their their actions towards each other was romantic without like the actual romance kind of thing, because they would just sacrifice literally everything for each other.
Yeah, and like the commitment they had to like their families and stuff. Oh,
Mhm.
so cool. Yeah, there's no way that you can read any of these out of order.
Yeah. But and even from the beginning, Joe hadn't talked since he was kidnapped by that guy. The second he saw Ox, he was just like completely fine.
Super
And the
chatty.
same thing
Yeah.
happened like when he came back after being gone for 3 years.
Yeah.
Where it's like he was pretty depressed those 3 years, but now you're here and he's fine.
It's all the little small moments that kind of piece
Yeah.
it together for me.
That's
But
how
I
felt.
do understand for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I loved the moment when Joe, like one of my favorite moments that was so cute for their romance was like when Joe and Ox are on the same page, and Joe like brings his little, like he's wearing his bow tie and he comes and talks to Ox's mom and brings her flowers. And he's like, he's going to be like with me forever or something like that. Like, can I keep him forever? I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that was super cute.
Wasn't that the scene where he's like, I really want to bite him?
Yeah, it goes there too. Yeah.
We don't talk about this.
He's like, not out loud. Yeah, let's not say that. Yeah, that was cute.
I can't talk about it. I don't remember this. That isn't not for another 2 weeks, so we have a week gap, and then we're gonna be talking about the next
No
one.
spoilers. I'm trying to be good. I do like, though, this is just a random thing. I liked that Joe was alpha because I feel like when it comes to werewolf books, it's always the oldest brother who's alpha. Like, and it's this really like machismo man who ends up being the alpha, and it's all like the brothers never get along because they're always trying to like fight for power. But like Carter and what's the other brother's name? Carter and
I didn't even remember Joe's name, so I'm not gonna remember the brother's name.
The two brothers, they like didn't dislike the fact that they weren't alphas. They were just so supportive of Joe, and I liked that.
I like that too. And they killed people off, which I always appreciate in a book. So,
oh yeah,
yeah,
Kelly, thank you.
Yeah, and I feel like this always happens though. They always go off by themselves.
Oh
yeah.
But I love that Gordo knew exactly where he went. He was like, he followed you. He knew something was wrong, so he went and helped.
There's no reason for him to go by himself. He has so many people he could have brought with him.
He didn't want the people to die.
That's true.
That poor kid was being like tortured in front of his mom.
Yeah.
And I feel like Ox just would rather sacrifice himself than see anybody get hurt. So
yeah.
I did almost start tearing up the moment when he saw, is it Thomas, the dad, like on the other side when he almost died. He's like, I know why I'm seeing you. I need to choose, don't I?
So
yeah.
Yeah. Because I feel like that death kind of came out of nowhere. Like you weren't expecting an attack and you were not expecting him to die.
Yeah. Right.
And Ox's mom.
I didn't expect Ox's mom. And I remember the first time I was just like sitting there bawling, like, oh, that hurts so bad.
I mean, because they were both just not belonging anywhere. So she found a family in them too.
Yeah. That was nice. That part, yeah, it did come out of nowhere. And then it felt like that's what, because like for a little bit, the story started to lag for me there in the middle. And then that part, like when that part hit, I was like, oh, like things are happening again. Like we're getting into it.
Yeah. The dad I kind of expected because I was like, we have this war going on. Everybody wants to be like the one true alpha. But the mom is a little, she was kind of not expected whatsoever. It almost would have made more sense if it was Joe's mom that they went after. Because, like, if you kill their mate, they end up going crazy anyways. But alas, that's not what happened.
Yeah, they were still all there, right?
She's still alive.
Okay. Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. I was thinking about it. I was like, yeah, no, she is.
Yeah. I liked her. I also like how I feel like I've seen some fan art where like they all are sleeping, like touching each other in some way. They're like, they have to be
all
close.
The physical touch. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fan art for this series is hands down like the best fan art I've seen. It's so gorgeous. I love the fan art for this series.
I don't think I've seen any. I'll have to look like once I finish them all.
Yeah, don't.
It is interesting.
You might get spoilers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That Tor picked this up like a year ago, I guess now. Because I feel like that's super common now with indies getting picked up for romance. but I don't see a lot of like paranormals being picked up.
Well, I think because they did all of his other books. They picked up his other stuff.
Like the House on the Cerulean Sea and like the other ones ended up becoming more popular than this one did. So, but these also got redone.
Yeah, I don't know if people just didn't know about this series.
Yeah, I think
like when he published Cerulean Sea.
I think when it came out, it was really, really popular, but I feel like now everyone knows him because of the House on Cerulean Sea and like Under the Whispering Door.
Yeah. Have you guys read those?
I loved them.
Me too. Yeah.
I don't think I've read any TJ Klune that I haven't given 5 stars. I even liked his the YA like superhero one, The Extraordinary.
Oh yeah.
I really liked that one too.
I haven't read that one. I've read his 3, the other ones, like The House in the Cerulean Sea, and the newest one, like In the Lives of Puppets too. I loved that one as well.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't finished the superhero one. I only read the first one in that series, but I really liked it. Yeah, I remember it being huge, like in the pandemic, but then after it kind of like fell off a little bit.
Yeah, because that's when I had first heard about it and put it like on my TBR years ago.
Yeah,
I just think it was a different trend after the pandemic. All his books make me cry. He just really goes for the jugular.
They all have such good found family though, because I read the first one, The House in the Cerulean Sea, and you're just like, you guys are all just like neat.
I love them. Yeah. Yeah.
You guys said so well. Did you guys see the Fairy Loot editions for that series?
No.
Which series?
The House in the Cerulean Sea.
Oh, I think Desiree showed me. Yes.
Yeah, it just went on sale. Yeah.
No.
I think it's Fairy Loot because Desiree sent it to me too, and I was like, I'm not buying books right now.
Isn't it like 150 for the 3 books?
Yeah, it was expensive. Desiree, where was it?
Yeah, where is it?
I wanted it, but I just can't justify the price right now.
No. I already have too many books. And that would be my 3rd edition of Wolfsong, so.
I wish he went to book signings, though. I would love to get these books signed.
That'd be awesome.
Dazzling book.
Oh, I thought it was Fairy Loot.
Oh, what? Oh, is it?
This shop did a really pretty version of Legends and Lattes, too.
I've never heard of this shop before.
They're so pretty, though. Like, look at them. Yeah.
I think did they do a All for the Kings edition too? The Nora Sokoviak book.
You know what?
The All for the King series, All for the Game series, the Foxhole Court series.
I don't know. It looks like they mostly do queer books, which is really cool. Oh, they did The Darkness Outside Us. I really like that one. That is so pretty. Oh my gosh, they did Wolfsong.
Did they?
What?
I mean, it's illustrated, and it has them as kids, which I don't love.
Oh.
Like on the back.
Oh, I like the sprayed edges though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they did do a Foxhole Court. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, they did Cemetery Boys. Oh.
That one's really pretty.
So it is a dust jacket, and then they have the original cover underneath, it looks like, all of them.
I've never seen any of their special editions.
I've loved all of their special editions. I just think they're expensive. That's all.
Are they out of the UK?
I'm not sure where they're.
Oh, Canada. They're from Canada.
These are so pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I see the Foxhole Court one now. Have you read that?
Foxhole Court? Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I loved that series. It's so problematic, but God, I love that series.
Is it like Bully?
Oh, you haven't read it?
No.
Oh shit. Yeah, it's extremely enemies to lovers. Like the romance doesn't even happen until the end of the 2nd book. And he like,
why would I want to read that?
Because it's emotional and crazy and bonkers. It has every trope that you could think of. Enemies to lovers, murder. Like, I don't know.
Is murder a trope?
Murder happens.
Murder.
But it's a dark book. Like there's mention of like overdose and like suicide and yeah.
I feel like the Foxhole Court though was around Wolfsong time.
Yeah,
for sure. I think I read them like back to back for sure. Yeah, I read it right. I think, you know what's funny is it was my second video I ever posted on BookTube. I posted a video of like reading Chandler's favorite books, and she loves the series, and that's when I read the series. God, and the hero is such an asshole too, but you end up loving him at the end. It's good, but it's very problematic for sure.
When did you start your channel?
Like when you did the first historical romance read-along.
You look
like
so
2020.
different.
I know. My family was just talking about that. We were looking at old pictures, and they're like, "Sam, you look."
Went to your oldest videos.
I might have privated the Foxhole Court video.
Yeah, it is.
Because that is a problematic series. So then when I looked back on it, I was like, maybe I don't want this as my second video.
Your second video is a book haul.
Oh yeah, then no, I definitely privated that video.
Oh look, reading the Green Creek series 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was when only the first 3 books were out. So I did another video reading the last book in the series.
Yeah.
Trip down memory lane, but I do love the Foxhole Court series, and the fan art for that one is pretty gorgeous as well. It's an sports romance.
Oh, okay. And are they in high school?
College?
Oh, okay.
Is it lacrosse?
It's a game that doesn't exist. It's a mixture of lacrosse and rugby, but the author created a new sport. So there's different rules.
Interesting.
But it's basically like lacrosse, tennis, rugby, had a baby.
You know how you can tell if you've watched a video by like the red line showing how much you've watched it?
Yeah.
I've watched all of these.
It's just
3 years ago. It's like, oh, I've watched these.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
It's been a long time on YouTube. Thinking about, I mean, because I know our historical Hellions has been around for a long time now.
Yeah. But I had only been on YouTube a couple months before we started that.
Oh, okay.
Wow, really?
Mm-hmm.
Seems like you've been around forever.
Thanks.
In a good way.
No, I appreciate it. I like that. No, I was a part of the crowd that started reading during the pandemic.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I read in high school. I read a lot of paranormal romances in high school, and then when I graduated, I kind of stopped until the pandemic.
Yeah. But
yeah. The next one in the series is Ravensong, guys. And then we'll just talk about like what we're reading right now. This is Gordo. Is it a spoiler to say? No, I don't think it's a spoiler. You kind of know that.
Yeah, you kind of, yeah.
Yeah. I like this one because he's a witch and it's a little bit different. His magic's pretty freaking cool.
Doesn't his like tattoo glow or move or something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his tattoos have to do with his magic.
Yeah.
And it's a second chance romance. I feel like this one is much more angsty, even angstier than the first one.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Yeah. They're on Amazon. They're not that expensive, and you can pre-order the last 2 books in the series.
I need to see if that fits my size since I got mine.
Are they paperback or hardback?
They're hardcover.
Okay.
Yeah, they're hardcover, and I don't think the hardcover has anything on it. Oh, it does. Little prince.
Oh,
Chris would have.
Well, Christy, do you have the sprayed edges one?
Yeah, from the UK.
I'm sick.
Yeah.
I wish I had that.
But I don't think they did that. They're doing the rest of the series because he stopped working with them, I think.
That is so stunning. I'm so jealous.
This is
the first one has little paws on the
front. I have a whole bunch of his, like the sprayed edges for the Puppets one, the House in the Cerulean Sea, and the Under the Whispering Door from the UK.
Ooh, you can get, that's paperback. I was like, they have the box set for only $35.
Put it on your Christmas wish list.
I didn't know these were out in paperback in those new covers.
I think I saw them. Did I see them at Barnes & Noble recently?
In paperback?
Yeah, I feel like I saw them in paperback. Maybe.
I love the purple one.
The colors are really pretty that they did. I mean, I still love the original, like the dark ones, but
yeah,
these are really pretty too.
Brother Song is the best one. That is the best one, and it sucks that it's the last one. So we have a couple.
Because the series is done, right? Like he's finished. Okay.
4.
There's 4, and then there's like a short novella at the very end.
Okay.
Is the novella just about everybody?
No, the novella is about the hero from the 4th book. You get his point of view, like a couple chapters.
I do think that I would have liked Joe's perspective, though.
Wait, are they all just one POV then? The whole series?
Yep.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It is. Well, the 3rd book is kind of confusing.
Okay.
Into the 3rd book, you'll see what I mean. But no, the 2nd book is only in Gordo's perspective. You never get Mark's perspective.
Okay. The 3rd edition has a wolf howling on the cover.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Right? Yeah, that's what this one is. Yeah, he's howling.
Oh, I thought they meant like the underside of the jacket. Like the hardcover.
Oh, on the hardcover?
Maybe not. I thought that's what they meant.
I'll have to look at mine.
When yours had like the prints, the paw
yeah,
prints.
mine has little paws.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I really liked this one. 5 stars, but I'm excited to read the rest of the series for sure.
Me too.
Me too.
No,
Yeah.
the audiobooks are very long.
You know what's so funny is whenever I recommend this book to people, people are like, "Oh, I don't want to read it; it's too long." But I read the ebook and I literally read it in one day. Like it didn't feel long until I got the physical copies, and I was like, "Oh no, this is a thick book."
Some books are like that. Like you'll fly through them.
Hours.
It's when I'm reading it on ebook, I don't see the page count, so it doesn't feel long.
There's a little raven in the background. I was wondering because the other ones have like 2 wolves on them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what is the Wolfsong? Does it have anything about ox in it? No. That's sad. Unless is that ox on the front? What is ox's? No, ox is wolf, isn't it? Black.
I mean, maybe that's Ox's house in the back.
So true.
Wouldn't it make sense to be the Bennett's house though?
Yeah, the house at the end of the lane.
No, Joe's wolf is all white.
Yeah, so that's Joe.
Yeah,
because ox was black. I was trying to remember what they said. Yeah, because then the other 2 have the wolves. What are they made out of? It's like cloth.
I don't know, like paper mache almost.
I thought it was clay.
Oh, that
Well,
would make...
but it looks like it's like fabric on some of them, like Brother Song.
Really? Oh, the later ones. Okay.
Yeah,
maybe.
It reminds me of like those old cartoons, like when the
stop motion type style stuff.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
I'm glad you understood because I
I knew where you were going because I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I definitely read faster when it's an ebook for first.
Did you start a new fanfic?
I did. I started it's another Hermione fanfic, but this one is on Spotify as well. What's it called?
Oh, is it Breath Mints and Battle Scars?
No, Remain Nameless.
Oh,
it's the coffee shop one. This one is a Friends Lovers one. Draco owns a coffee shop, and Hermione like comes in there, and it's like him healing like after the war, I guess. So it's a total different vibe.
I like rip your heart out.
Well, you guys want to know what video I filmed before this? I filmed my fanfic TBR.
I have to do one of those.
I have a whole list of like ones that I found. I found one, guys. It's a whole world that I was unaware of. There's something called Rose Killer fanfic with freaking Barry Crouch or Bart Crouch, whatever, the Death Eater. Yeah, I was like, any character you could possibly imagine has a fanfic. I was just...
So someone commented on my Instagram post. They're like, they like Drary.
Oh, I have one. The one I'm Drary.
I was like, who would that be?
I'm listening to Who We Are in the Shadow. Oh, yeah, Who We Are in the Shadows by Quicksilver Maid. This is a Draco and Harry fanfic, and one of them is a werewolf, I think.
Oh.
One of them gets turned into a werewolf.
I did download a Neville one. I think it's Neville and Hermione.
Is it Safe Word is a Devil Snare?
Yeah.
Yeah, Neville's a dom in that one.
I don't know the synopsis of any of these. Do you have a note thing in this? Can you send that to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am with it. Mel, gorgeous, beautiful Mel. What is the fanfic of Dean and Castiel from Supernatural? You did it. I don't know if you did the bind up or someone else did. Please tell me, because I couldn't find it. Yes, I'll send everyone the list if you guys want to see it. I'll post it on my Instagram so you guys can see.
I don't know. After reading Manacled, I'm like, Draco belongs to Hermione. Like, there is no one else for him.
Maybe because I wasn't a Draco stan like always, that I'm kind of okay with other pairings.
Oh, I wasn't
do have Breath Mitts and Battle Scars saved.
Yeah.
Oh, I found this one called Castle Guard. She's a princess and he's one of her guards. I don't know.
These are sort of every scenario for them.
No, literally every scenario. Like I have a Neville and Hermione one, a Cedric and Hermione one, Barty Crouch.
Did you send me the Cedric one? I think you did. Unless it was Desiree. Okay. Because I love Cedric. So
Finding Himself. And Cedric's in a wheelchair in that one.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's a disability. He has a disability, but I don't know, maybe from the games. Yes, beautiful. Let me write that down. Thank you.
I will tell you the only reason I was even like intrigued by fanfic was because I read Forget Me Not by Julie Soto and read that she wrote fanfic, and I was like, well, I'll have to go read that. So she wrote The Auction.
I never liked fanfic because I don't know, I just never thought about it. I never really read it. When I was in high school, the only fanfic, this is so embarrassing. The only fanfic that I read was One Direction.
Did you like One Direction?
Yeah.
I don't know why I wouldn't think that about you.
Deep rooted obsession. Oh man. In our homeroom, we would play just videos of the One Direction music videos, and we would like learn the dances. Oh God, it was so bad. Oh, I'm ashamed. Did
you tell me about this one? Did I download this?
To be fair, a lot of these I got from TikTok or friends who read fan fiction. Like I didn't find them myself.
Okay, I'll have to.
I'll send my list to you. But I loved Wattpad when I was in high school. Like it was basically all I read because I was reading too fast for my parents to buy me all these books from Barnes and Noble.
Right.
So Wattpad was so easy, and I had a friend who printed our favorite Wattpad stories, and she would put them in binders, and she would draw covers of these books. Like she was literally like our publishing house. So fan fiction just reminds me of like Wattpad days. It's like nostalgia, I guess, is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I read after when it was on Wattpad. Yes, I did. I read The Kissing Booth when it was on Wattpad. Anything that was Wattpad, I read.
Does anybody know? Can I read The Auction as a standalone?
I have no idea.
Christi, are you gonna not read Manacled?
I feel like I'm going to.
It is slow though.
I've heard so much about it now. I feel like I have to.
You only appreciate it when you're done. And then you're like,
it's the final sentence that just
I don't. Your vlog, and then you're like, I'm never taking a recommendation from her.
I went back to work crying. Oh my God, it was so bad. That was embarrassing.
Inception fanfic. Okay.
Oh, you can read it. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I didn't.
So have you started any more, Jess, or not yet?
No, because I'm reading stuff for other things. In the end of the month, so I have like 3 book clubs because I have this, and I have the other 2. Right, yeah. But I'm reading this right now.
That's the last one, right?
Yeah, because I'm doing a vlog where I finished the last book in series that I never got around to finishing. This is so good. And
is that the one you were posting about in your stories that was really good?
Yes.
Okay, I was thinking it was her new one for some reason.
Oh no, King of Greed doesn't come out until next month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
No.
I read the first book in that series and I DNF'd it, and I haven't picked up the rest of the series.
The first isn't that great, but I feel like 2 and 3 were really good.
Okay, maybe I'll just skip the first one then, because I didn't like the first one.
Yeah. I don't think it's a lot of people's favorite.
Okay.
I give it I think 3.5, 4 stars.
I think Twisted Love's actually everyone's least favorite of the whole series, from what I
that makes me feel better, because I was like, dang,
maybe 2 is a princess and bodyguard romance.
Maybe I'll just pick up that one,
which is really good.
I hate reading series out of order. Even if you can read them as standalones, I hate it when I just couldn't get through the first one. No, I stand corrected. I have not read everything about that. I haven't read that. I wasn't into historical romance in high school, surprisingly. It was.
I've literally started watching binding videos on TikTok. And I
They're
can't
so pretty.
There's this one who is doing, like, you know how Penguin has like their classic
Yes, I follow that. I follow her.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be good at it, but I don't need another hobby that I don't have time for.
No, I need you to be good at it so you can make some for me.
Well, then you need all the supplies and stuff. Like you'd have to have a whole space.
I would literally drop like $500 on supplies because I get like that into new hobbies, and I would just do it incessantly, and I can't do that. I don't have time.
I feel that.
I remember during the pandemic, I spray paint, like did a lot of sprayed edges on my books.
I mean, that's easy.
Yeah, that one's easier, but I don't know why I did that for. I did it like on some classic Lisa Kleypas books. I was like, Sam, why'd you do that?
Oh no! Didn't you actually have a video where you messed one up? Was that you or no?
It was a Lisa Kleypas one.
Okay, and you were like, "What? Why have I done this? What have I done with my life?"
Okay, but like, do you see how pretty those books are?
Go follow Mel from Mel Binds Fix. Hers are stunning. Like it's sick. Like just stunning.
Yeah, they're really pretty. Yeah.
So I'm saying I would drop all that money because I'd be like so into that hobby. I'd have to make sure I give it time. But I mean, there's a lot of like tutorials out there, so I feel like it'd be not easy, but like you can see the process. Yeah, but I'm such a perfectionist.
If you get it down and you have all the materials, it won't be as pricey, I suppose. But like special edition covers are getting so expensive anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like a lot of the startup is like the big pieces you'll need, but you'll use them over and over again. Like if you want like a nice paper cutter and like
the picture right there, that's Cedric's book.
Oh,
that's so cute. People have insane art for all of these too.
Yeah, they do.
She's so pretty. What are you guys reading?
That was the one downside of listening to it as an audiobook, Manacled, is I didn't see any of the art throughout the book. Because you know, there's links at the end of each chapter for the like art and stuff, and author's notes too. You don't get that in the audiobook.
Oh, is the entire audio out there?
Yeah,
it's on Spotify.
It's narrated by ETL, something like that. I think that's the company name. It's not professionally narrated, and narrators do change. So they'll do like maybe 10, 15 chapters, and then it changes narrators.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because it's not professionally narrated because they can't make any monetary value from it. But it's not bad. If you speed it up a little bit, you really don't notice too much of a difference, but it's not like the best audiobook ever.
Because was this one, I feel like there was one of them that was on audio, but like only until the 70% mark. Maybe it was this one when it was first happening, or no?
Maybe.
I heard that, yeah.
Okay.
No, the whole thing was on audio.
It's done though?
Okay. Yeah.
But it's long.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I downloaded I think it was Measure of a Man. It's like 3 times the size of Manacled.
Whoa.
3,000 pages?
It was 600,000 words, I think. I don't remember how many words Manacled is.
Whoa.
But it was too big to send by email. Like I had to find the way to the Christi, I think I sent it to you, the website that you like could just it's so long. I'm like, Manacled was a beast.
Is it Hermione?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm more interested in Draco and Harry at this point. Like, you know what? That has some real potential.
I have seen people like tear off just the covers of normal books and rebind them, which is interesting.
Oh, yeah. So, because then you just get to have it like on the outface of your shelves. That's not too bad of an idea.
Yeah.
I thought that was how everybody did it, is it not?
No.
Well, obviously not fanfic, but yeah.
Yeah. But like if it was other books, they just take it and then they take off. And then I saw someone would make bookmarks out of the cover that they tore off, which I thought was cool.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
People are so creative. I love it. Yeah, I'm fearful that I started with like the best because everyone is saying Remain Nameless and Manacled are their favorite. So
I hear about those ones a lot.
it feels like The Mummy too,
Ooh.
which I was excited about.
So is that what you're reading right now, Samantha? Is fanfic right now?
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Well,
How long did it take for you to read Manacled?
A week.
Okay.
Yeah.
I read
I
it
haven't had
in 2
the
days.
strongest reading month this month. I've started and stopped like 10 different books this month. Yeah, I don't know what's up.
It's like that sometimes.
And Christi, what are you reading?
I'm actually reading Jennifer Hartman's new one, The Stars Are on Our Side.
Do you like it?
I don't know. It's a lot. It's very heavy, like heavier than Still Beating and Everything.
Oh, okay. I mean, because I have that arc, and she was kidnapped, right, and released. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and so like Still Beating, like it all happens in the beginning, like you're with them when it's happening. But with this book, we're getting like she's obviously out, and we're getting flashbacks and her telling, like she's telling somebody the story to write like an author, and so you're getting those chapters spread out the entire book. Like I'm 70% in, and so like we keep reliving it, and like it's just sad because like the person that she was with obviously didn't come out with her. And like that romance is so good. Where the one in the current day, I'm like, is this girl over it? Like, I feel like she needs therapy. Like she needs help. Yeah. Like it's so fresh for
her. Still Beating, it's like dark in the beginning and then they move forward.
Yeah. Okay. Where this one, we're constantly being reminded of it.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's heavier. Just because you're constantly going back to it like all the time.
This is the one I downloaded.
Oh,
yes. I'm very excited.
That's a fun name for it. But you definitely have to read Still Beating and Lotus before you read.
That's what that said, yeah. And it said it was connected to June 1st. I don't know how June 1st
is
all of them.
Okay. Yeah. Well, because they all exist kind of in that same neighborhood or place, kind of. Yeah. And even somebody said, like, If the Thorns Remain, which I haven't read that one.
Oh.
But no, I think it's only one book.
Well, in Lotus, they were friends with Dean and Cora.
Yeah. And all of those characters, like Dean and Cora and the couple from Lotus, is it Oliver and Sydney, I think? They're constantly in this book.
Oh. Yeah. I didn't love Lotus, so.
Yeah. I love Still Beating. Lotus was okay. Like, it was one of my favorites of some of her first ones that were out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm reading.
More Nora books, for sure.
I have Identity, but I want to read Shelter in Place first. Because I have that on audio.
I've only read the one historical we read. Just everything else was J.D. Robb.
You haven't read any other Nora Roberts?
No.
Not Black Hills, not The Obsession. Those are good ones.
I really like the In Death series, so I'm not going to finish it. It's forever long, but I'm just like slowly reading that.
Yeah. Christi, I saw you read The Summer I Saved You.
Mm-hmm. I didn't love it.
That was sad.
Yeah. I just love her older stuff more. Like she's kind of been, which I know you liked the one before this. I didn't love that one either.
Oh, I loved it. It was so angsty. This one felt nothing like it.
Yeah. It wasn't my favorite.
Oh,
Home Run Proposal. That's really cute. I liked that one.
Maren Moore.
Yeah, the Maren Moore one.
That's not
good. I read that book ages ago. Withering Hope for some reason.
Is that the one where they were like plane wrecked? Or is that different? Maybe a different one that I'm thinking about.
I feel like I can see the cover in my mind. Like the couple in the rain and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to read this one. I really want to read more fantasy.
I do want to read that one too. Which, is that a spinoff of her From Blood and Ash series, or is it a completely new series?
I thought it was new.
Okay. I'm excited for that one.
I have to start this tomorrow. My live show's on Thursday for this.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard the best things. So
I haven't heard the best things either.
Oh man. That happens sometimes. It'll make for an interesting live show.
Yeah.
Is Lacey going to be back from her trip? Isn't she?
I'm assuming she is.
I was like, I've been seeing her like road trip this whole weekend.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
Rereading Again the Magic. I approve of that message. Oh, that's cool. Beautiful. Again the Magic. Stunning.
Oh, completely new. Okay, cool. That's good to hear.
They have the spice rating on the back of the arc, which I hope they did not put on the back of the actual book.
Really?
How many chili peppers it is? I'm like, what is this?
Like what? 4 or 5 chili peppers on
I think
it?
it had 4 chili peppers on it.
That's hilarious.
This is a very subjective rating. I don't know if you want to like put it down and like.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I hate that because I'm like, my spice level to someone else's spice level is very different.
Exactly.
Like, I'm over here reading fucking BDSM and you're telling me like 2 spicy scenes is 5 chili peppers? No, ma'am.
Right? Like, who would you consider a 5 chili pepper author?
It would have to be like Nicola Davidson or like someone who's like really delving more into like kink, not just like a few spicy scenes.
Right. Like, I don't trust spice levels, especially like when I keep coming back to like when those publishers did like for Unhoneymooners and said it was 3 on the spice level, and I was like
It's fade to black.
I know.
0. Like,
that's like 1 spice.
Like,
it's subjective. It's subjective.
It is. And like what could be super spicy to one person is not
Right.
to the other person from what they read.
Right.
So
yeah, very, very subjective.
Yeah.
But books are subjective in general. Oh, Cleo Evans, I love.
I'm excited for her new one.
I love. Oh my god, I bought so many of her books at Stimulant, and the covers are stunning. Which Polly one did you read? Was it the office romance one?
I think, was this just that free one that we just like was just in that weekend sale thingy? Because I grabbed it too.
Cleo Evans, I would consider a very spicy romance author for sure. A lot of her
Killers and Monsters, I think.
Or Nyla K for sure.
This is really good.
Lorraine Heath is always a hit. Have you read her new one yet, Jess, or no?
No, I have that on audio. I need to read it.
So good.
Is it? Did you? I think, was it Crystal? Someone read Diana Quincy's new one and didn't like it, and now I'm.
Yeah, I saw she didn't like it. I think I have the arc of it, but I haven't started it.
I haven't started it either.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to read this one.
Oh,
I want to read that one.
I have this one on my Kindle.
Yeah, Killers and Monsters. I grabbed that one.
I was thinking of she has a couple poly romances. I was thinking she has an office romance one. And then she has like her coffee shop series. There's a poly romance in there too.
The Medusa one sounds really good though. The new one.
Their covers are gorgeous. I spent a pretty penny at Stimulant.
Butcher and the Blackbeard, or Blackbird. That one is, someone would say, is like rom-commy though, right?
But it's 2 serial killers.
Yeah,
because I've read the author, like her other 2 books that I love, and they're dark serial killer ones. But then they're saying this one's like rom-com.
I don't know.
So I want to read it, but I'm
Gentle Rogue.
Stuff.
I love Gentle Rogue so much.
Liam Niscosta comes out with a monster pilot romance with a Gentle Rogue cover.
Yeah, I'm sure you read Sea of Ruin, but that's one. Beverly Jenkins has one with a female pirate. Destiny's Captive.
And she has that Captured one too, where the hero is a pirate.
Okay. Yeah, she does.
Lily.
But Gentle Rogue is top notch.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are at an hour chatting about things not Wolfsong, but we had a good discussion about Wolfsong.
Yeah, we chatted about it.
When is our next live show?
So it's 2 weeks from now. It's not next week.
Correct, because I will.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, that's right. So it's the 8th.
October 8th on Christi's channel. Are we reading?
Yes.
Oh, Raven Song. Yes.
Yeah. 8
so
p.m.
We will not do the audio.
It's on our Instagram if you guys want to see all the dates for the rest of the books. And I'm excited because this is definitely one of my favorites of the series.
Yeah, I'm excited to continue on.
All right, guys. Thank
you for joining.
See you next time. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
I end stream.
I was like, wait, what's going on?